Hello string players, today we're going to be talking about the next steps. What do I do besides play the notes that are written there? So I'm going to do a little tiny theory lesson. I'm not going to do a lot of theory because there's a lot of great YouTube videos about music theory. But we're going to touch on a little bit. I'm going to change my camera around so I can kind of explain, and then we'll come back and play something besides the bass line. Alright, so here's the musical alphabet. It goes A through G, and then it starts again at A. So let me do this, keeps going. A triad is just the first, third, and fifth of the scale. So just like we would skip a number to go from 1 to 3 to 5, we skip a letter name to create a triad. For example, A, skip to C, skip to E. So the A is the 1, or the first note of the triad. The C is the third, E is the fifth. The twist on this, though, is you have to keep your key signatures in mind. So, for example, we've been playing Sweetly Broken. It's an A major, so it has the first 3 sharps in it. F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. So in our example, we've got, our same 4 chords, A, E, F sharp, D. So we're going to write out our options. All 3 of those will sound good in the chord, the first, the third, and the fifth. So A, C sharp, E will be our A chord. So after A, we do E, E, skip to G sharp, skip to B. Those will all sound good in an E chord. A, E, F sharp is our next chord. And it's an F sharp minor chord. We don't have to worry too much about that. All we have to do is go from F sharp, skip to A, skip to C sharp. And then our last chord is D. D, skip to F sharp, skip to A. Okay, so these are all options that you have. If it's too overwhelming to have all those options, you can just start with the first and the third and get rid of the E, all those bottom ones, and just stick with 2 of them. But I'm going to play a little bit for you, some examples of what you could do, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm sitting here, my whiteboard is right in front of me, and I'm just going to play off of that. I'm going to play longer notes just to start out with, and I'm going to change up the register a little bit. We've been playing bass notes, now I'm going to move up an octave, and here's just an example of one way you could play it. To the cross I look, to the cross I cling, of its suffering I do dream, of its work I do sing, for my Savior, both bruised and crushed, to show that God is love, and God is just. I didn't move around a lot. I tried to make a smooth line out of it. If you don't, if you do jump around some, it sounds a little clunky. Like, to the cross I look, to the cross I cling, of its suffering I do dream, of its work I do sing. So it just doesn't have a smooth quality. So try to find a line that is smoother and doesn't require as much jumping around. It'll sound better with the band. So just something to play around with. It's pretty simple. Just want to end by encouraging you today. There's so many things going on in our church and community that are just heartbreaking and hard, and just people need Jesus and the church needs encouragement so much. So just encourage you to keep going with what you're doing and use your gifts to bring that to the church and to love people.